Jake thought his tourist dollars gave him the right to mock a royal guard. He taunted and jeered, believing his status justified every insult. But Lieutenant Alexander's calm, unwavering response left everyone speechless. What happened next not only shattered Jake's bravado, but also reignited respect for tradition. Ready to see how this showdown changed everything? The London sun blazed over Westminster Palace, casting sharp shadows on the cobblestones. The royal guard stood rigid in their pristine red uniforms and black bearskin hats, symbols of British tradition. Among them was Lieutenant Alexander Winters, epitome of discipline and pride. Alexander was used to the constant attention from tourists, but today was different. A loud group of young men approached, their laughter piercing the usual hum. Leading them was Jake, a tattooed guy with a smug grin. "Hey man, smile! Snap a selfie with a real guard!" Jake demanded, invading Alexander's personal space. Alexander remained stoic. "I'm sorry, sir. These uniforms aren't for personal photos." Jake smirked. "Oh, so serious. No fun allowed, huh?" He reached to grab Alexander's hat. Quick as lightning, Alexander pulled his hand back firmly. "Please, sir, respect the uniform." The crowd started to gather, whispers turning into snickers. Cameras flashed, capturing every tense moment. Jake, fueled by entitlement, flicked a coin toward Alexander's feet. "Look at this guy, so uptight. What's the worst that can happen?" he taunted, laughing with his friends. Alexander bent down calmly, picked up the coin, and held it up. "It's just a coin, sir. Let's keep it respectful." The tension thickened. Some tourists laughed, others rolled their eyes, but more began to frown at Jake's behavior. Alexander's patience was wearing thin, yet his stance remained unbroken. "Seriously, who does that?" the narrator interjects. "Is Jake trying to ruin centuries of respect for a quick laugh? It's beyond ridiculous." Jake escalated, mimicking Alexander's stiff posture exaggeratedly for his friend's amusement. The crowd split. Some found it hilarious, others saw the folly in Jake's antics. Alexander took a deep breath, noticing a few concerned faces in the crowd. The atmosphere was electric, the clash between honor and disrespect about to ignite. "Come on, man, lighten up. It's just a bit of fun," Jake insisted, clearly thinking his tourist status justified his actions. The narrator scoffs. "Right, because spending money on a vacation gives you the right to disrespect sacred traditions. Give me a break." As the sun continued to glare, the stage was set for a confrontation that would test Alexander's composure and highlight the growing rift between timeless honor and fleeting modern amusement. Jake wasn't done. He reached into his backpack and yanked out a plastic bottle, grinning like he owned the place. With a flick, he tossed it toward Alexander. The bottle clattered to the ground, missing its target by inches. "All right, let's try that again," Jake shouted, egging his friends on. Alexander stayed calm. He bent, picked up the bottle, and placed it gently on the cobblestones. "Sir, please," he said firmly. "Let's keep this respectful." Jake laughed, frustration flickering in his eyes. "Come on, man, it's just a bit of fun. Lighten up." Ignoring him, Alexander straightened up, resuming his watch. But Jake wasn't having it. He grabbed another bottle, aiming this time directly at Alexander's boot. The bottle struck the sole, leaving a small stain. "Seriously?" the narrator chimes in. "Who does that? It's beyond disrespectful." Alexander sighed, wiping his shoe with his sleeve, showing no irritation. The crowd began to split. Some sided with Jake, cheering him on, while others frowned, disapproving the blatant disrespect. "Look at him, so cool under pressure," someone whispered to their friend, capturing the moment on their phone. Jake, sensing the shift, decided to up the ante. He mimicked Alexander's stiff posture exaggeratedly, making his friends burst into laughter. "Check this out. Can you stay still longer?" The narrator rolls their eyes. "Right, because mocking centuries-old traditions is peak entertainment." As Jake continued his antics, the atmosphere grew tenser. Suddenly, a child in the crowd started crying, lost and scared. Her small hand reached out, clutching her mother's sleeve, tears streaming down her face. "Alexander!" she cried, looking directly at him. "I can't find my mommy!" In that instant, everything changed. Alexander's focus shifted from Jake to the girl. Without a word, he knelt down, gently taking her hand. "Don't worry, we'll find her," he assured her, rising to his full height. Jake saw his moment slipping. "Hey man, if you're so great, help her out or what?" The narrator scoffs. "Oh, now he's the hero? Classic entitlement move." As Alexander guided the girl through the crowd, Jake's friends started to murmur among themselves. The tide was turning. People began to see Jake's behavior for what it was, a desperate bid for attention that backfired spectacularly. "Look, he's actually helping," one tourist commented, filming the scene. "Maybe we went too far." Jake, realizing his show was collapsing, tried to salvage his image. "Whatever, man. You're just no fun." But the crowd was no longer entertained. Instead, they watched Alexander with renewed respect, the earlier mockery replaced by admiration for his integrity. The narrator adds, "Finally, Jake gets a taste of his own medicine. Who knew being a jerk could lead to such a mess?" Jake's bravado deflated, his friends silent and uncomfortable. The girl was reunited with her frantic parents, and applause broke out for Alexander's composed handling of the situation. "Guess being a tourist doesn't give you a free pass to ruin everything," the narrator concludes, shaking their head. As calm returned, Alexander took his place once more, the crowd's respect evident. Jake and his group slunk away, their entitlement laid bare for everyone to see. Alexander released his stern expression and approached the crying girl with a gentle smile. He took her small hand, leading her through the crowd. Tourists saw the shift and seized the moment to rile him up. "Hey man, you're a hero and all, but what'll you do if we get bored of finding her?" Jake taunted, loud enough for everyone to hear. Alexander kept his cool, responding with a hint of irony. "Maybe I'll use this chance to find all of you in a better place." The crowd's mood began to change. Applause erupted as Alexander guided the girl back to her frantic parents. Parents thanked him profusely, their gratitude echoing through the crowd. Jake noticed the shift. Desperate to regain control, he tried to smooth things over. "Sorry, we were just trying to have some fun." The narrator chimes in. "Oh, really? Because trying to ruin traditions for a laugh is peak fun, right?" Alexander nodded respectfully to the parents before turning to Jake. "Respect goes both ways. Let's keep it that way." The crowd's support for Alexander swelled. People stopped laughing, some even clapping in approval. Jake's bravado deflated as he saw his friends backing off, sensing the growing disapproval. "Look, he's actually helping," a tourist whispered, filming the scene. "Maybe we went too far." Jake tried one last jab. "Whatever, man. You're no fun," the narrator scoffs. "Classic move. When your act falls apart, you act even worse." With the girl reunited and the crowd's admiration clear, Jake and his group started to disperse, their entitlement exposed. Alexander watched them go, then turned back to his post, adjusting his hat with composed dignity. "Tourists think they can treat traditions like props," the narrator adds. "But heroes like Alexander remind us why some things deserve respect." The crowd around him erupted in applause, recognizing his unwavering honor. Cameras continued to record, capturing Alexander's graceful handling of the chaos. The once divided crowd now stood united in their appreciation. Alexander took a deep breath, feeling the weight lift. He had upheld the legacy, not with anger, but with unwavering respect and humanity. The tourists, now silent, walked away with a lesson learned. "Guess being a tourist doesn't give you a free pass to ruin everything," the narrator concludes, shaking their head. "Sometimes, it takes one true hero to set things right." As the crowd dispersed, the respect for tradition reaffirmed, Alexander resumed his post, a silent guardian of honor amidst the ever-changing tides of modern disrespect. Jake saw his moment slipping. Alexander turned to the tourist with a subtle smirk. "Politeness and respect for traditions are worth more than any joke. I hope you remember that." The crowd erupted. Applause surged, drowning out Jake's uneasy chuckles. Social media went wild. Videos exploded online, showcasing Alexander's composed stance. Reality hit Jake hard. His friends started deleting the footage, faces red with embarrassment. Jake opened his mouth to apologize, but the crowd had spoken. "We're sorry," he muttered, trying to salvage his pride. "We just wanted to have some fun." The narrator interjects with a knowing tone. "Funny how trying to ruin traditions only highlights their importance. Who saw that coming?" Alexander adjusted his hat, returning to his post with unwavering dignity. The crowd continued to applaud, many nodding in agreement about the importance of respecting cultural heritage. Cameras captured every moment, immortalizing Alexander's integrity. As the day wound down, Alexander felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had upheld the honor of the royal guard, reminding everyone why these traditions matter. The story of one guard standing strong against arrogance spread worldwide, inspiring respect and admiration. "Guess being a tourist doesn't give you a free pass to ruin everything," the narrator concludes, shaking their head. "Sometimes, it takes one true hero to set things right." Alexander watched the tourists disperse, their entitlement shattered. He stood tall, a silent guardian of honor amidst the chaos of modern disrespect. The sun set over Westminster, casting a golden glow on a day that reaffirmed the value of tradition and the power of unwavering respect.